So just to start off with, non-passionate people I feel like are the worst people for me to work with. I struggle constantly with non-passionate people. And the reason I struggle with them is that they're boring. They don't have any value to add to conversations. There's nothing exciting to talk about. It makes your work life really crappy. It makes even personal settings, even casual settings, really, really boring because there's nothing to talk about. They're not excited about anything. And then on top of that, these boring people don't network. So they're not out there networking with a bunch of other people and learning other hobbies and conversations. So I feel like I'm fairly introverted. I don't like to actually go out and do a lot of conversations. However, if you put me in a room with somebody and we talk about something I'm interested in, it's exciting. I'm passionate about it. I'm great to talk about it. I can go on and on and on about it. If you put me in a room with somebody else and they're passionate about something and they're telling me about it, even if I have no interest in it, it's still interesting because they're adding value. There's something interesting to listen to. And when someone's passionate, it makes it more fun to listen to them. And in general, non-passionate people are kind of the people that take the easiest route. They're not out there looking to actually make progress or do something exciting or amazing. They're not out there to be the best. They just want to do something average. They just want to go to work every day from 9 to 5, go home, and do their own thing. And career-wise, this is a suicide for you. This is just gonna kill your career. You're not gonna be that successful. You're gonna struggle to be a manager because the fact is you don't care about what you do. You don't care enough to put in the extra work to learn outside of your work. You don't care enough to show up to work and actually be excited. And that comes down to the passion portion. Passion isn't something you just wake up with, which I think a lot of people think oh, this guy, Dimitri, he's extra passionate about quantitative finance. He's out doing all this stuff. I wish I was as passionate as he was. But you have to wake up every day and realize I am passionate about this. You have to kind of force yourself into it sometimes, because even though I absolutely love what I do for a living, there are days that are just miserable. And you have to remember, I'm doing this, I put in all this time and work because I actually like doing this. And so even when you have bad days, you still have to remain passionate, excited, and really willing to do what you need to get stuff done. So exactly why do I like working with passionate people? Let's just nail these down in a list real quick. They produce the best work out of any employee because they actually care what they're doing. So I've seen many people that get an assignment, they do the bare minimum and then they just sign off on it quickly, hand it in, or they just sit on it for an extra few hours or a few days and then turn it in. These people produce garbage work over and over again because they're not passionate about what they do. They're not excited about it. They're not the ones out there actually caring what happens with their work. Passionate people are excited to be at work. And again, like I said, you have horrible days from time to time. I can tell you that. I've had miserable days where everything's falling apart. It's just irritating. And on top of that, when you're super passionate about stuff though, and the day's exciting, they're excited people to be around, being passionate can actually be a double-edged sword where it makes your life miserable. The reason is so many people out there are just looking to put in the bare minimums, and then when you go out there and you're you want it done exactly right, you want it done perfect, you want to do the best you can do, and then you have colleagues and managers and they're oh, it's close enough, or we've been doing it this way for 10 years or whatever, 5 years, 2 years, 6 months, whatever, and then they tell you that's just how we do things, and you're looking at it but why? It doesn't make any sense. This is the most inefficient route. But again, it's having that passion that makes you irritated. It helps drive you to push everybody else to do better. And that's where passionate people come in, is they rock the boat. I've been in many scenarios where I've had my managers not be happy with me because I've written letters to either them, I've written letters to even more senior people on, you guys aren't doing the best job. Here are 10 things you guys can improve. Let me help you. Let me show you how it's done. I've worked in these other places. I've seen how this works. Let's sit down and discuss this. And typically this is met with, Dimitri, we already do this, right? We've already done this, but we're not doing it. And that's the problem, is they want a loophole of, we're either A, we're already doing this, or B, it's too much work, it's too much money, it's too much time. There's always an excuse on why we can't make things better. But passionate people are always rocking the boat, as I like to say. They're pushing the envelope. They're making management unhappy, and it's not because they complain, which I get a ton of. People tell me, Dimitri, you're always complaining. But it's not really complaining because I'm actually pushing the agenda I'm complaining about. I'm the one that's driving these. I'm the one trying to make the changes so that everybody has an easier job here and we have better results. So passionate people have two really good characteristics. They're always excited to learn more, and they're always excited to teach other people about what they're passionate about. So having this passion in the workplace is crucial. As an employee, you need to get passion. You need to do something that you love to do. It doesn't have to be something that's your dream job. I know I would love to do something crazy like, I don't know, be a geologist, or, you know, maybe be a musician, or maybe be a full-time YouTuber. But, you know, at the end of the day, you have to pick what pays the bills, but also what you're passionate about. And so I'm always more than happy to teach people. I've had colleagues that have business backgrounds and they say, Dimitri, I'm doing these meetings, I don't understand what's going on in the statistics side. I don't really need to know, but it would be helpful to make my job better. And so I sit down and had weekly meetings with a few of my colleagues teaching basic statistics, everything from like distributions to OLS, and kind of walking them through all the assumptions and testings. But they had a lot of questions, and so it was fun for me to teach them because I'm passionate about teaching it. On top of that, I absolutely love learning. So again, I get a lot of crap from colleagues that say, Dimitri, you don't have any hobbies. And so I have to point out stuff all the time, like, hey, I love beekeeping, and you know, I used to race motorcycles, and I like to fix cars. Because if I don't, people always ask me, what did you do this weekend? And I'm like, well, you know, I did like yard work, clean the house, or whatever. But then I sat down and I read, you know, my stats book I'm working on, or I read like a financial engineering book that I'm working on, and I went through and I'm like rebuffing up on these new topics. Or at work, you know, we're doing artificial intelligence, and so this weekend I sat down and went through a course on Coursera, and I'm learning more about neural networks. So people think like, oh, it's crazy, you don't have a life. But at the end of the day, if you're passionate about it, you're always excited to learn more. For me, it's exciting and it's fun to do. So those are why I absolutely love working with passionate people. I encourage all of you out there to actually find something that you're passionate about and do it for a living, with the stipulation that it has to be something that makes you good money. Yeah, you can do something you're passionate about and not make any money, but you're probably not going to be as happy as if you have something you like to do, you're passionate about, and you're making a good living off of it. For employers out there, I would encourage you to actually hire passionate people. When you interview someone, I've seen so many people like just kind of like droll through these interviews, and they just kind of tell you the bare minimums, like, yeah, this is how this works, and this and this and this, and like whatever. Or you ask about a project, and they're like, oh, this is this project, I did this and this, and it's monotone and it's boring. People that are passionate about it, when I interview them, absolutely love it. I'm more than willing to hire these people, even if they have a little bit of deficiency in some of the areas that we're hiring for, because I know they're going to go out there and they're going to learn it on their own. It's exciting to talk to them and learn about the projects they've done. I recently met with a student who is a longtime subscriber and follower of me. He's been great and supportive, and he was telling about this new job he's working on. He's using basically data science and analyzing data and looking for trends in a company, and it was just amazing to listen to like all these cool different points because he was excited about it. It wasn't his dream job. He wants to be in finance, but all these things were very exciting, and that's what kind of ignites me. That's what makes me passionate, is the people around me. But also I like to be around people like that because they make my day better. They make corporate culture better. And so at the end of the day, we should all strive to be a lot more passionate about what we do and how we go about doing our work. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, until next time. Thanks for watching my video. If you find it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe.